Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Manohar Kumar, Assistant Professor of English from Government College Devgarh. Today we are going to study about the poem Kubla Khan, composed by S.T. Coleridge. In the previous lesson, we have studied from 1 to 11 lines of this poem, and today we are going to next part of this poem. In the previous lesson, we studied Kubla Khan, the great Oriental king, ordered a splendid pleasure palace to be built in Jandu, his summer capital, that stood on the bank of sacred river Elf. This river flowed through immeasurably deep caves into a sunless sea, a fertile tract of land extending over 10 square miles was enclosed with wall and towers. A number of small streams meandered their way through this stretch of land. It also had numerous trees laden with sweet, fragrant blossoms. Its forest, as old as hills, enclosed in them many a bright spot, overgrown with all kinds of green vegetation. And now, but oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a sedan cover, a savage place as holy and enchanted as ever beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm, with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if the earth is fast thick, pants were breathing. A mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift half intermittent burst, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or chaffy grain beneath the thresher's flail. And mid these dancing rocks at once and ever, it flung up momently the sacred river. So, in these lines, we can see that the poet is describing some images of the chasm and the place where Kubla Khan built a palace which is surrounded by green land, rocks, and many streams. But oh, element of mystery here. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted. Deep romantic chasm which slanted means sloped. Deep, deep romantic chasm means sloped. A chasm is a broad, deep opening in the earth. Deep romantic chasm which slanted, with sloped down the green hill, which down the green hill athwart means across a sedan cover. Sedan means trees of cedar and cover of sedan trees. The chasm is crossing the cover of cedarn trees. A savage place, or the place is looks uncivilized. The place is savage, and as holy and enchanted, and as holy, as pious, as sacred and enchanted. Enchanted means magical. As ever beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. As ever beneath means under a waning, diminishing moon, under a diminishing moon. The place is looks under a diminishing moon, as holy and enchanted, and also savage, where a woman wailing for her demon lover, where a woman is searching her demon lover who has deserted her. Woman is searching her demon lover and who has deserted her. And from this chasm, or from this chasm, with ceaseless turmoil seething. With ceaseless means continuous. Turmoil means tumult. Turmoil means tumult. And seething. Seething means bursting or bubbling. As if this earth is fast, thick pants were breathing. As if the earth is panting, breathing with intervals. As if this earth is fasting. So, and from this chasm with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if the earth is panting with intervals. And in the next line, a mighty fountain momentarily was forced. A mighty means powerful. A powerful fountain stream momentarily means in transitory way, was forced amid whose swift half intermittent burst. Amid whose swift half intermittent burst, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail. Huge fragments means pieces. Vaulted means lift up, jumped up like rebounding hail. Rebounding means hail means hailstones. Rebounding means when hailstone strike with earth, they thrown back upward. Like the same way, the stones and the little stones of the rocks are rebounding like the hailstone because of the bursting of stream, the bursting of water. Or chaffy grain beneath the thresher's frail. Or chaffy grain. Chaffy grain means grain with chaps. अनाज जो साफ किया हुआ नहीं है. Chaffy grain beneath the thresher's frail. थ्रेसर जो साफ करने वाला, अनाज को साफ करने वाला जो व्यक्ति होता है उसे थ्रेसर्स फ्लेल मीन्स अनाज को साफ करने का टूल. तो सेम मैं आपको हिंदी में इसको थोड़ा क्लियर करना चाहूँगा कि द पोइट किस प्रकार की, जब बहुत तेज़ी के साथ में जब झरना वहाँ पर बह रहा है, स्पीडली जब झरना आ रहा है, तो उस झरने के पानी के प्रेशर से जो पत्थर है वो इस प्रकार उछल रहे हैं, इस प्रकार लिफ्ट अप कर रहे हैं, इस प्रकार वोल्टेड हो रहे हैं, जैसे हेल स्टोन जब ओले गिरने के बाद में धरती से टकराकर वापस थ्रो बैक होते हैं, वापस उछलते हैं, ठीक वैसे ही जैसे जिस प्रकार एक जो अनाज साफ करने वाला व्यक्ति है, वो जब अनाज साफ करने के लिए उस अनाज को ऊपर से जब गिराता है, तो गिराने के दौरान जो अनाज है वो उछलता है, और जो चेफ है, जो है जो स्ट्रा है वो अलग होता है, और अनाज उछल उछल के वापस रिबाउंड होता है। सो हियर comparison can be noticed in these lines with hailstone and thresher's grain. Chaffy grain beneath the thresher's fell, and amid these dancing rope, at once and ever it flung up momentarily the sacred river, and dancing rocks, dancing rope में rebounding stones, at once and ever it flung up momentarily the sacred river, and flung up means threw up momentarily the sacred river Alps. 5 and I would like to clear these lines in detail. A deep chasm sloped down a green hill across a screen made by the cedar trees. It was a wild place, fit for magic and witchcraft. It was kind of place frequented by a woman who was deserted by her demon lover. She sets out in search of him under a diminishing moon. So here these lines are remarkable for their suggestiveness, and in the next lines, rebounding hell, hailstone falling from the clouds and thrown back upwards, and chaffy grain not yet freed from chaff. Thresher's flail, a strong stick hinged on a long handle used for separating grain from chaff. Thresher is a person who threshes grain. From the deep romantic chasm gushed forth, means flowed at momentary intervals a spring of water, making a tumultuous sound, a sound full of noise. The intermittent bursting of water gave one the impression that the earth was breathing in thick, fast pants. जैसे पृथ्वी, जैसे धरती क्या ले रही हो, श्वास ले रही हो, रुक रुक के, हाँप के. Each time the water gushed forth, it threw up huge pieces of rock. Each time when the water flowed swiftly, it threw up huge pieces of rock. These flying pieces of rock could be compared to the hailstones thrown up after striking the earth, or grains leaping up under the thresher's flail. So there is a comparison. So it was your lesson, I think. you are getting the explanation of these lines. So there are images of thresher and the image of water hailstones can be noticed, and in our next lesson we will study the next part of this poem. Thank you for today.